slide.
Missouri wants to win, too.
Time to take you to Como, Columbia, Missouri for our finale. SEC Now will be on when it's over. We'll see you at halftime. Florida, Missouri, enjoy the first half.
In Mizzou Arena, the final SEC regular season game of 2016. And, well, somebody's going to walk out of here snapping their 4-game losing streak. Florida, Missouri coming your way in a matter of moments. Dave Neal alongside former Missouri All-American guard John Sundvold. And, well, for the Florida Gators, just a couple of weeks ago, this was a team that we thought was a lock for the NCAA tournament. But right now, they're back squarely against the wall.
Yeah, Dave, they are. They know it coming in here. They've got to win tonight. They've had tough 4 losses and really against very good teams in this league. I don't think they should have dropped as far as they have because they've lost to good teams. But you see their resume. Joe Lunardi's got them as the next 4 out. They cannot lose tonight. They understand that this is a team that some nights doesn't shoot the ball well, but they've got to be better defensively, and you know they'll be a terrific offensive team tonight with rebound.
Coach Michael White of Florida said his team offensively played pretty well against Kentucky. They need to guard a little bit better to have some success, and obviously they need to shoot their free throws a lot better than they did against the Wildcats. Missouri, a team that's lost 4 in a row, and they have lost 13 of their last 15. One senior on this team in his final home game. That's Ryan Rosberg, who has played so well in SEC play, their leading scorer in conference games. Number 44 in black. Over and back violation.
Good call.
Right off the tip.
Yeah, KJ Walton caught the basketball and then just stepped back court and back in.
Can't do that.
Can't do it. Turnover. This Florida team defensively one of the better ones in the SEC. The last 3 games, though, they've had teams shoot over 50% against them. And Missouri's coming off the game at LSU. In the second half, they scored 47 points. We'll see if Missouri can continue their offensive ways. And if Florida can get off to a start.
The freshman, Terrence Phillips, will run the point, gets it off to another freshman per year. KJ Walton gets the start. Inside to Rosberg. Got a great ovation as he was honored before the game. Misfires. She's been shooting 67% from the field in conference games. Nice strong attack to the basket by Allen, the freshman. Couldn't get it to go. Missouri back the other way.
And both teams will push, Dave, because they both struggle in a half-court offensive set. So they're going to try to get easy buckets. We'll see if there's any ones to be had tonight.
Florida came in last night, had a practice here, and Michael White not too pleased with the mentality of his basketball team. He knows this team is trying to get out of this funk, and he said they just weren't locked in like he needed them to be.
Yeah, a team that's stretching to get in the NCAA, he knows it. He said their sense of urgency wasn't there. He wasn't happy with practice. It didn't last very long. He thought, well, get some rest. We'll try it again today.
Here's Chiozza. They need to get him going offensively. Ekbunu had a nice game against Kentucky, but he is fouled there. Ekbunu had 9 dunks against the Wildcats. He is fouled by Phillips. That'll be his first.
Ekbunu's last 2 ball games, 22 at LSU, 27 against Kentucky. You mentioned the 9 dunks. They will pound it inside and see if Missouri can contain him. Might have got a call there the Florida way.
Here's Robinson. Robinson averaging less than 10 a game at 9.3.
Kayvon Allen has had a terrific freshman season.
Finney Smith can't get it to go, but they'll get it right back to him. Assist to Chiozza.
I think one of the better offensive rebounding teams in SEC is Florida. They attack because they know they don't shoot it particularly well. You must block out or they will continue to get a lot of shot attempts.
Naaman Wright to the basket, won't go.
Naaman Wright had 28 in this ball game last year against Florida.
Finney Smith, Ekbunu inside, he lays it up and in.
Wow, nice pass. Finney Smith, senior leadership, playing his last regular season game before the Gators head to Nashville.
Missouri averaging 68 points a game, 13th in the conference, trying for their first points of the evening. Offensive foul. It has been a long season for Kim Anderson. The final game for Missouri. No postseason basketball for this group as they have some self-imposed ban after some basketball-related issues by the previous staff.
You know, the back-to-back wins at home against Auburn and South Carolina, they have played better basketball. They've not been an easy team to beat. And it's always dangerous when you go on the road trying to get a win, and Mike White trying to get that to his team and to be ready.
And a foul underneath. K.J. Walt crashing to the basket.
And Dave, you and I both thought that Missouri warming up is an awfully loose squad. They're not going to Nashville. They seem loose. They seem ready. Let it all hang out. The final 40 minutes they'll play of the season.
Here's Walt.
Another freshman coming off 11 points at LSU on Tuesday night. He hit 3 threes in that game in the second half. 35% three-point shooter. 70% free throw shooter. Again, another freshman that's getting better as the year went on.
Nice pass. Wow. And a big back throwdown by Egbunu. That is a big boy at 6'11", 255.
Just strong. And obviously with a head of steam on the pick and roll, and shows to put it right on the money. I think that's how you get 9 dunks in the ball game. Because he's ready. He just told Missouri, go ahead and get in the way of that one next time.
He now has the school record for dunks in a season with 67. Rosberg working hard, goaltending. Scored the basket for the senior Rosberg, who has a career average of 4.1. But in his last 8 games, averaging 15.5 a contest.
And the difference, and we've seen this all season long, he used to kick this ball out when he got it inside. Now he's going to work. He's trying to score, trying to get fouled. He stayed with it, got the ball back, and the goaltending.
Gioza out to Robinson. Will fire away and hits nothing but the bottom of the net.
Robinson's got such a good stroke. Continues to get better in his offensive game now in his sophomore season. 17 games, double figures. Good hands.
Loose ball. It'll belong to Florida. Defensive intensity by the Gators is pretty high right now.
Well, again, this is a team that all season long has been great defensively, but they hit some teams that were great offensively. I had them when Vandy went to Florida. Vandy shoots 58%, LSU shoots 56%, and then Kentucky over 50% too. So this is a league, depending on your schedule, when you catch teams, I don't think Florida should have been penalized as much by Joe Lunardi because they played some of the better teams in this league and got beat.
Came on out. Look at it to go. Robinson working hard underneath. It'll belong to Missouri. Gators up at our first timeout, 9-3. Some good offensive work.
And it's power on power. And if Missouri's going to be in this game, they better match it defensively because Egbunu's going to bring it.
SEC Network Basketball is brought to you by Ballpark Flame Grilled Jerky, the jerky that's flame grilled to be tender. Well, it has been an absolutely gorgeous day here in Columbia, Missouri. As you look at the Gators, I tell you what, right before this 4-game streak, you had a lot of confidence in where this Gator team was going. And then, I don't know, you tell me, John, what happened?
Well, I don't think it's as bad as everybody has built it. And again, I'm not blaming Joe Lunardi, but let's take a look at the games. At South Carolina on the road, you lose in overtime. South Carolina's an NCAA team. Then you take an extremely hot Vanderbilt, who's an NCAA team. You go to LSU, which they can beat almost anybody when they play well, and then you lose to Kentucky. So all of a sudden they go from an 8 seed to the first 4 out. Makes no sense to me. Or a 7 seed to out. I think it's still an outstanding team. Their schedule lined up really 4 hard games. Now they must win tonight to get the positive vibes back. Maybe that sticks them back in the last 4 in. But Mike White knows where they are. The players know where they are in the situation.
He says offensively they've had their moments. Obviously the free throw line has been a big disappointment for him. He's done all. He says, I don't know what else. I mean, we shoot more free throws than probably anybody in the country.
The hardest part about free throw shooting when a team struggles is when you spend so much time. It's psychological, right? You spend so much time on it. Guys have to step up each guy step up and make their free throws. Van Leer's an outstanding outside shooter.
Cullen Van Leer misses that one. He's just 4 of 26 from behind the arc the last 6 games.
Missouri has stayed man-to-man defensively against his Florida team.
Chiozza off to Casey Hill. Robinson will try again.
Interesting lineup with Casey Hill and Chiozza both in the lineup. 2 quick point guards that can attack this man-to-man defensive team.
Foul on Rossberg. Crowd didn't like it. That'll be the first on Ryan, the senior out of Chesterfield, Missouri.
The lone senior of this ball club. He has quite a bit of family in the stands tonight. They said over 200 cousins, relatives, family, friends.
Leon will try for 3. That won't go. Robinson taps it around, and Mizzou will come out of there with it. Naaman Wright off to Phillips.
And where does Missouri go offensively? Watch for Purrier, whether it's in the post or pop it. He's a good pick and pop guy. Likes the post inside. Good left-handed player. His freshman season's been solid.
There he is.
And you can't defensively let him turn that way. He's too good. He's too skilled around the rim, and he's a good face-up player.
Team's leading scorer, 11.5 per game. Hill. He buries a 3. Casey Hill on the year averaging 8 points a game. 25% from behind the arc.
Yeah, almost a bonus point if he's going to hit 3-pointers. They're going to give it to him. Took that one with confidence. But folks, when you're watching the screen, watching your TV, when Florida shoots the ball, watch Robinson. Watch how active they are trying to get an offensive rebound. They attack from all angles.
Shot clock at 5. And a foul on Robinson. Well, we know what time of the year it is. Tournament time. SEC men's basketball tournament presented by Cooper Tires is on the SEC ESPN network. We'll have every first round, second round, and quarterfinal game for you. Our coverage starts with SEC Now Wednesday at 7:30 Eastern with the first game at 8. And as always, the game's also streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. Of course, only one game on Wednesday with Missouri not participating this year in the tournament. .35 to go first half.
And with Purrier out, now you're thinking, where does Missouri go? Isabel awfully good. He's in the lineup now, number 4, awfully good off the dribble. Gant can score, but this is a team that does struggle getting points.
Allen draws a contact down the lane. Isabel will pick up the foul. That'll be his first. And that'll be the 4th team foul.
Kayvon Allen has struggled shooting the basketball. Last 4 games, only 27%. But what a freshman season this kid has had. 32 points against Florida State, 19 in the huge win over West Virginia, 27 against Ole Miss. I mean, those are massive numbers for a freshman that a lot of us, Barry, don't talk enough about. Very quiet, a very quiet individual.
I was just about to say the thing. Michael White says that he hopes in the offseason, it's not necessarily about his basketball skills. He hopes verbally he becomes a little bit more aggressive.
And we asked, we said, just on the court. He said, no, even off. He just doesn't say that.
He is a quiet guy by nature. Here's Gant.
Again, Isabel off the dribble is pretty effective.
Shot clock again at 5.
And look at how good Florida is. Man-to-man defensively, they really stay in front of their guy.
Bunu grabs that rebound off to Hill. Finney Smith pull up 3, buries it. Timeout.
And Florida shooting the basketball, pushing, making Missouri get back defensively, and Missouri's going to run to the rim because Florida's not a great shooting team. They block out, they push Casey Hill up the floor. Now he's surveying what he has. Got a guy on the left side, and you got a trailer. Your senior, your leader, and Finney Smith, all-conference player, knocks it in.
Well, this Florida team has 6 assists on 6 made field goals. Dorian Finney-Smith with 5 points. And there is no doubt that when Dorian Finney-Smith gets it going, this Florida team is hard to stop.
Well, and his progression on points goes back to him shooting the ball. As a sophomore, he was about a 37% field goal shooter, in the 20s in 3-point. Well, he's escalated that a year ago, just under 50% field goal and just under 50% field goal shooting this season. So he has changed from being maybe just a defensive player, an athlete, to down the offensive end. You've got to stop not only on his drive to the basket, but on his jump shot.
Another rebound by Egbunu. 3 of those here in the opening minutes. Missouri was down 22 in the first half to LSU. Rallied to cut it to 3 in the second half. Allen, though, with the takeaway from Isabel, and he throws it down. It's now a 10-0 Florida run. A 14-point lead for the Gators. And some contact and a foul against Egbunu. Whatever Michael White said after practice when he cut it short last night seems to have registered with his team.
He was hoping his guys would show up. He wasn't sure this morning, but he said, I think my guys will be ready. And so far they're ready. Kayvon Allen with an easy finish. Gators on a roll early.
Well, the final game for Missouri, and that means senior night. And Ryan Rosburg, the lone senior on this team, being honored. And it has been a tumultuous 4 years for Ryan Rosburg. But I tell you what, this is a guy that has stuck it out. At times thought about quitting, but he stayed the course. And he has finished with a flurry. It has been a remarkable story, one that puts a smile on your face. And a real testament to having some. First of all, he is a Missouri fan as a kid growing up. This has been a dream for him to play here, and the way this is finished really makes you happy for him.
And when he was recruited by the University of Missouri, it wasn't as though he's going to come in and just set the world on fire offensively, but he's going to be a solid contributor. And so you go through stretches that may not feel good and work, but he hung in there. And he said in the paper, he said, I just grew up wanting to wear Missouri on my chest. It's been a dream come true. And that's what senior nights and senior days mean to guys like Ryan Rosburg.
His mom and dad are Missouri fans. They sit in section 117. About 8 to 10 family members come every game to watch him play. There they are. And what's happened here in the ever since that Missouri announced that they were not going to participate in postseason basketball, it's almost like something just kind of clicked with Ryan and became this aggressive offensive player. The numbers that he has put up since that moment have been incredible. I mean, this is a guy that averaged less than 4 points a game at the time. And since then, he's just been going crazy, putting up against a future NBA guy, Damian Jones, who went for 24 and 11.
You know, when you average nearly 16 a game at the end, and his dad, Paul, and his mom, Cindy, you know, they even said in the paper, he said, you know, there are times when he was frustrated, but yeah, since the announcement they weren't going to play in the SEC tournament, he's been a different guy. And they may need to get him back in the lineup and give minutes, because this Missouri team struggling on both ends of the floor. They can't keep Florida away from the rim, and they have no option on the offensive end. You know, Dave, again, I'm going to go back to the 4-game losing streak for Florida. Those are not 4 bad losses.
Right.
To me, you don't go from a 7 seed when you lose to 4 NCAA teams and drop out of the race. Florida is an NCAA team. They're a team that can play with anybody in the country because of their defense.
Here's Phillips, gritty point guard, out to Puryear.
Puryear now has to be more aggressive on the offensive end. He's got to look to be able to either A, post up, or B, when he picks and pops, be ready to shoot it. Missouri's kind of been limited on the shot attempts and the quality of shots they're getting.
Bill picks up the foul, his first. swatted out of there by Egbunu. Egbunu is 10th in the conference in blocks.
So here's what you do as an offensive player. Terrific block. Now, if you're the offensive player, where did Egbunu come from? It's got to come from somewhere. So where's the guy who's going to be open? I mean, you put that in your thought bank and you go, okay, when I make a play, where are guys coming from? And you learn that through your course of playing the game. And again, Florida is such a good team man-to-man defensively. They're not going to give you easy baskets. And right now, Missouri having a tough time. They're coming off playing the second half against an LSU team where you kind of get a lot of things you want.
Out of the corner, good-looking jump shot from David Wright. 31% from behind the arc. He's been struggling from behind the arc, 1 of 6 over the last 2 games. Finney Smith will try to answer, can't do it. Makes it off the back of the rim, and it'll belong to Missouri with 10:26 to go. It has been the Florida Gators shooting 40%, but they've held Missouri to just 23%, 3 of 13 from the field to start this game.
In their home building. I mean, this is where you would assume you shoot better. It goes back, Dave, the quality of shots and who's taking those shots. Right places, right time. Rosberg was posting low. They didn't even take a look. You still got to take a look as well as he's been playing.
Right.
Kind of been his year. You make one and then you don't make another. He hasn't been able to get on a roll this season.
Finney Smith.
Matchup zone now by Missouri. Good ball movement.
Allen can't get it to go, and that'll be a loose ball foul on the rebound. And that'll go against Leon. That'll be his first and the 5th against the Gators.
Just by eyesight, Florida is a longer team, more athletic and stronger. Missouri's guys must put body on body to keep this Florida team off the rim.
Gators coming off that loss to Kentucky, 88-79. Also lost to LSU last week, 96-91. Kentucky just dismantled LSU today.
Kentucky looks like they're warming up to make a big run. I mean, they're, to me, no doubt a Final Four type team.
Seems like they're clicking at the right time, and that could be a scary thought.
Tyler Ulis, I think, will be named SEC Player of the Year.
Ought to be.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think there's any question about that. And congrats to Texas A&M. Allen buries the 3, and for Allen, that is his first 3. He now has 7 points.
A&M's another team that I think when the NCAA tournament starts, I mean, they can win in Nashville, the SEC tournament, but they are a tough out. They're a Final Four type team because of the ability they have to defend and the offensive power they have from different options.
Of course, they'll go into the SEC tournament as the #1 seed by virtue of their win against Kentucky during the regular season.
Good stroke again by Naaman Wright. He's now hit his last 2 of 3, so a little bit of a comfort zone. We mentioned a year ago he had, as a freshman, had 28 points, his best game of his career against Florida.
He had 6 3-pointers in that game.
Well, that's a tough move. Not a good shot.
Well, the Gators came in here last year in late February and got beat up pretty good by this Missouri team. Matter of fact, only had 2 field goals in the final 13 minutes of that game against Missouri. Rosberg got it to go.
You know what? I mean, a year ago, maybe a month ago, he'd have kicked it back out because Egbunu just stopped it, but he kept going. And then Allen on the other end. And what we say earlier, Florida's going to try to push quickly to get easy baskets, and Missouri didn't run back defensively.
Allen averaging 11.4 points a game, has 9 now. Per year. A little too strong. Allen the rebound.
Shuffle the feet by Allen out front. Kayvon Allen's been awfully aggressive in this first half, which Mike White likes to see.
He said the Gators are at their best when they like to get in the open floor and push the tempo.
And I like it when Allen is aggressive because he can shoot it from the outside or he can attack. And if Missouri doesn't get back, Gators have made a pay early.
5 seconds left in regulation. 4-3 in the win and got it! They don't want to go home. Long ball. Got it! He's never hit a bigger shot. For 3. Oh! He got it! Let the party begin. They're headed to the big dance for the first time ever.
Well, of course, it is championship week. Presented by Dick's, and of course, the SEC tournament beginning in Nashville on Wednesday night. And our Hardy's SEC standings look like this. Texas A&M and Kentucky co-champions, but Texas A&M, by virtue of their regular season victory, will be your #1 seed in Nashville. South Carolina with a win today at Arkansas. And LSU tie for that 3rd spot. Vanderbilt in there at 11-7. Commodore is one of those teams, John, I really, they're hard to figure out. They're probably the hardest team to figure out. But I would say this, no matter what you think about them, I think they're the hardest team I'd want to, the least likely team I'd want to face in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, me too. And what happens is you get through this league, and then you get through the tournament, conference tournament, the SEC tournament, where anybody can win. I think Vandy's playing really well. Now, they lost today at A&M, but most have.
Right.
You get out of the league and get into the NCAA tournament, where the opponent, depending, the first game is going to be set. If you win that one, the opponent has 1 day to prepare. They don't know each other so well. In conference, you watch more film of each other, right? Mike Anderson of Arkansas said, well, it's like family. We know so much about each other. You know everything. Take Vanderbilt and put them against most teams in this country. And if you're not ready to play Vandy, and Vandy's playing well, it's a Sweet 16 type team. And then when you get there, you don't know what happens, right? They are that good.
Somebody's going to face a Vandy team. They have been an enigma all year, but I just think they've got so much talent. Speaking of talent, Casey Hill can elevate with the best of them.
How about the speed there?
At 6'1". Whew, that was quick.
The ladies are just putting their hair back in place. His speed just, it's like a wind tunnel back there.
Gators have a little focus today.
Yes, they do.
Van Leer got it to go.
Soft touch. Another freshman for Kim Anderson. Plenty on this squad. They're getting a lot of minutes that will only make them better next season when they start again.
Let's not forget Jordan Bennett sitting on that bench, transfer from Texas, will be eligible after the first semester next year.
Outstanding high school player who won a state championship on this Florida. I think he had over 40 points and 20 rebounds in the state championship game.
Gators knocked down another 3. It's their 5th 3 here in the first half.
So as a coach, Mike White's thinking, you know, maybe it's okay if we don't practice so well the day before. I'll just send them home after 40 minutes. He was worried about how they would come out.
Benny Smith with 10 now. And out of the corner, give that one to K.J. Walton. His first 3 of the game. He has 4 points.
K.J. Walton's dad, Kenny Walton, played for the University of Nebraska back when I was playing for the University of Missouri, so matched up against him a couple times.
Hayes, nice strong move.
So right now, Dave, it doesn't matter if Missouri, man-to-man, they can't stay with the quickness of Florida. And when they're in a zone, Florida's still quick enough to get into the seams like this time, right through the middle. Good pass, good movement, the bump, and then the basket by Hayes. But really, the movement by Hayes underneath against the zone allows Chiozza to at least find him, makes the bounce pass and the bucket.
Hayes, a freshman out of Live Oak, Florida.
And I like the combination of Chiozza and Hill, but we haven't seen a lot this year. A lot of times they, you know, one's in and one's out. Tonight it's on the floor for their speed and quickness. Again, Missouri's a team that when you defend them, they've got smaller guys and quicker. Most coaches worry about Missouri off the dribble.
That was the first Gator miss at the free throw line. 4 out of 5.
A little different than against Kentucky.
And they went 16 of 37 free throw.
And you wonder how that happened. Wow, Casey Hill is so quick. That looked open. Purrier looked wide open for a layup. And Phillips had a bounce pass. Obviously, a bounce pass takes a little bit of speed off it. Casey Hill, quick to the ball.
And Layer knocking home the 3.
You see what Kim Anderson likes in this freshman. Catch and release.
Just needs some consistency out of him. I have a feeling this next year, his sophomore year, could be a good season for Cullen Van Leer.
Well, what happens with a shooter and a guy maybe not as athletic as others at this level is you need better players around you so that they're the focus and you got a lot more open looks. Another offensive rebound by the Gators.
Nice pass. Walker was fouled on the floor by Phillips. Walker getting some action last 3 games. He took about 3 weeks off. Missed about 7 games. Really didn't play. I mean, it wasn't like he missed him for an injury. He just didn't play. Was passing up shots. Hasn't made. Listen to this. I mean, when you think about Walker, hasn't made a field goal. You ready for this? Since December 1st. He is 0 for 19, misses that free throw, and his scoring woes continue.
Yeah, 50% free throw shooter. Athletic, can do some things. They got to find his confidence. Phillips with a good move. The freshman lead guard for Kim Anderson has had a solid season in his first year of SEC play. Frank Martin had great things to say about Terrence Phillips after the Missouri Tigers beat South Carolina.
Finney Smith in and out. Tigers on a little bit of a run here. And cut this to single digits. Walt blocked, tapped around. Finney Smith, heck of a play.
Heck of a block from behind. Because K.J. Walton pretty good off the dribble and attacking the rim. Back to the 2-3 zone.
Inside, Finney Smith fouled. He'll head to the free throw line. Woods picks up his first foul. That'll get us to our under 4 timeout. It's an 11-point Gator advantage.
Welcome in, Fish, Delk, Dari. We know who the top 6 seeds are in the SEC tournament. We're working our way through the rest. We'll show you that. Also, bubble teams in action. What do you see from Florida?
Solid guard play by Chris Chiozza.
Yeah, defending at the elite level.
I clearly left you guys too much time. Guys?
All right, thanks, Dari. 11-point game here in Columbia, Missouri. 3:57 to go before halftime, and certainly a big day of SEC basketball as we wrap up the 2016 regular season. And Texas A&M over Vanderbilt in College Station today. Clinched that #1 seed, first conference crown. 30 years. Congrats to Billy Kennedy. We talked a little bit about that. And Rick Stansberry on the bench helped get some of those guys to come there. Billy Kennedy has kind of put together a really good staff and put together a solid program. And certainly the future looks bright in College Station. Ole Miss, what can you say? I mean, Andy Kennedy just keeps winning 20 games.
Year in, year out, you wonder what Ole Miss will have, and he keeps winning games. Another impressive year.
Had them on Wednesday night. They'll take down Mississippi State. As Steph Moody put on quite the show on his final game in Oxford. 43 points.
And still is not fully healthy.
No.
He's worth the price of admission to watch. And if you're heading to Nashville for the tournament, make sure you get in there to see every game. He may average 40 a night, lead him to another championship.
13-point game. Here's Woods. Gaddis calls the foul, a hold. That'll go against Casey Hill. It'll be his second. And that'll be the 16th foul against the Gators. Chiozza about to check back in. You know, it's hard to predict what the Gators have to do. I mean, it's all speculation in terms of what needs to be done to get them to the NCAA tournament. We do know the one thing that will get them there, and that is win the SEC tournament. That is a certainty.
Well, you know, if you lose tonight, it's a killer. Then they go to Nashville with tons of pressure on them.
A turnover by the freshman Allen. Chiozza wasn't paying attention, but you win here and pick up a couple of wins at the tournament.
I say they win one. If they win here and win one, I think they're an NCAA team.
Right.
I think they've been penalized by losing to good teams, which shouldn't happen.
Good look at break by the Tigers. Kept off by the lay-in from Damon Wright.
2-on-1, put a little pressure on top, and Wright quickly to the rim. Smart defensive play not to foul.
Back to an 11-point game. Largest lead was 17. Air ball by Leon.
And Missouri stays in that zone, even though Florida's made some shots. They're going to make the Gators keep shooting. Egbunu not happy coming back down the floor because he hasn't had touches inside.
Van Leer won't go. Woods working hard. Last touch by Van Leer, or by Missouri, and wow. Leon goes flying over the expensive seats.
Yeah, watch this. It goes flip. Oh,
First into the chair.
Hope he got some popcorn or something.
Good to be young. Hope he's all right. Looks like he's all right. Just frustrated. Not only do you take a shot like that, but now you get to leave the game. You're thinking, if you take a shot like that, at least let me stay in the game, right? Jeez.
Yeah. All right, keep an eye on Egbunu in this zone offense for Florida. He has been wanting the ball, hasn't found any openings, but the Gators keep shooting jump shots. Big guys get frustrated if they don't get a touch.
Teams are combined to go 1 for their last 10 from the field, and Finney Smith is falling in love with that three-point shot. He has 7 three-point attempts. Right, that one's blocked by Finney Smith.
And that's what Finney Smith does well. Naaman Wright now 2 or 3 of 9 from the field. There's a touch. With 3 black jerseys around Egbunu when he caught it inside.
Chiozza, he'll pull up for 3 and knock it home. Chiozza.
And makes the steal.
Finney Smith, and he is hammered by 2 Tigers. Let's see who picks up the foul. You could go with Wright, or you could go with Gant.
A quick steal after the 3 by Chiozza. Missouri not paying attention. He makes a steal, then makes a hard pass, and Finney Smith, with his athletic ability, just attack the rim.
Gant picks up the foul.
And Dave, you made a comment about Finney Smith. He's settling for that jump shot. He's made a couple, but that's not once in a while take it. But when he gets when he gets on the dribble inside an attacking mode lanes, he's hard to stay in front of, hard to take a charge against him.
I think there might have been a little bit of blood on Finney Smith, and with that blood, our officiating crew will go to the monitor to see if
check the foul, if there was an elbow involved. He was aggressive attacking the rim.
Lee Cassell, our lead official today at the monitor.
Watch the 3 by Chiozza, and then watch Missouri not pay attention when they're going to take this ball out of bounds quickly, and Chiozza just comes and takes it. Pass.
It looked like Wright was the one that maybe got him up around the face.
Well, it looks just like a basketball play, a hard play.
Going to call it a common foul. So Finney Smith He might not agree. He might not agree with Colin Fowl, but he'll head to the free throw line. 12 points, a couple of rebounds tonight for Finney Smith, who is 74% at the free throw line of all their free throw woes. Allen's 82, Finney Smith at 74%.
Well, the solid season by Finney Smith, 7 times over 20 points, 25 games in double figures. They rely on him to score the basketball, but we also know him as one of the outstanding defenders in this league. Can guard position 1 through position 5. Not many can. He can.
So Finney Smith now with 14 first half points, and the Gators have pushed the lead back out to 16.
Matchup Finney Smith on Purrier. Purrier again good on the block if he gets position. That Missouri usually takes a peek and swings it. Don't take a peek, sit on it, let your guy get set, give him the ball.
There's Phillips. Right, shot clock at 1. Got it to go. Little floater went in right as the horn sounded.
Very good shot. Outstanding defense. Mike White, no complaints.
Egbunu. Long. Little jump hook, but pushed away from the basket by Woods. That'll be his second.
All you can ask if you're a coach is to be solid on the defensive end. And they were Florida this time. And David Wright hits a tough shot. Floats it in. Very aggressive on the offensive end tonight.
Egbunu at the line, 52%.
He shoots it, though, like he's about a 70% free throw shooter. Doesn't he? I mean, he shoots it comfortably.
We were watching him today at shoot around, and he knocked down 10, 11, 12 in a row like it was no big deal. But he was 3 of 11 at the line against Kentucky.
Again, if you're 50% or in that range, then the psychological point, when you miss one, it then gets in your head of, I could miss a bunch. You make one, well, that looks good. I liked his patience on the offensive end when he caught it, saw the double team, then they left, put it on the floor, made a move.
Egbunu could be a real problem for a lot of teams next year. Egbunu with a rebound.
He's got some shoulders on him. Wow. Shot clock, game clock, 4 seconds difference.
Florida will take a timeout. Michael White trying to draw it up here, leading 44-28. With that, don't forget tonight at 9:30 on the SEC ESPN Network. Be sure to join our network analysts as they discuss all the SEC news of the day on SEC Now. So much going on with the SEC tournament coming up next week. The SEC Women's Tournament having a big day as well in Jacksonville. Catch all that streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app as well. We're at Mizzou Arena. Dave Neal and John Sunvold, the final game of the SEC regular season. Michael White in his first year as head coach of the Florida Gators. Ben Howland, Rick Barnes, Avery Johnson, all the new coaches. All those guys have done a marvelous job with these teams.
And I know Tennessee has not played well at the end, but that's without Kevin Punter. Yeah. What they were doing early on, what Rick Barnes has done, is what he's done every place he's been.
Chiozza just throws it up and drew the contact.
That's a bad call because that's solid defense. Chiozza had nowhere to go. He made a good hard play, and Gant stayed in front of him. And he had nothing. And the interesting angle from where the official is.
Got to say that Chiozza got bailed out.
Yeah. And if you're Chiozza, you
step to the line, shoot your free throws.
Yeah.
Right.
Get 2 points.
Chiozza, 77% at the line, knocks it home. Egbunu to the bench.
It's a Florida team that really doesn't turn the ball over much either. Their guards handle it well.
Got them both.
Pretty solid in his sophomore year. Keeps getting better.
18-point lead, biggest of the game so far. Per year, can't get it to go.
Solid first half by Florida.
You put up 46, you gotta like your offense. You hold the opposition to 28, so you gotta like your defense. Pretty good 20 minutes for the Gators. Time for us to go to Dari in the studio with our State Farm halftime report.
All right, Dave, thank you much. State Farm halftime report is underway. Dari Nowkhah, Tony Delk, Damian Fishback. We talked about it before the game. Everybody knows it. Florida has to simply come in to Columbia and take care of business, and they did it emphatically. What impressed you most?
The play of Chris Chiozza, getting everyone involved, 7 assists the first half. And when you can pass the ball around the perimeter and get other guys involved, it helps your team out. And then Dorian Finney-Smith, he stepped up big.
Well, we talked about Dorian Finney-Smith. I think he is a guy who could be lethal for this Florida team. With that being said, you give a lot of credit to Florida, but I still think they're taking way too many three-pointers. 2/3 of their shots are three-pointers in this first half. They have a distinctive size advantage with John Egbunu on the interior. I think they need to continue to go inside and improve themselves, not just for this game, but for what they're going to need to do to get in turn.
18-point lead, though, so a game they've got to have. At this point, 20 minutes in, they have it. To this.
Well, apparently I might be the only guy in the building that can't dunk. Our halftime show was pretty impressive. Maybe Missouri could use some of that inside presence as the Gators put on a pretty good offensive show in the first 20 minutes. I'm Dave Neal. That's John Sunvold. And John, the Gators wanted to come out, be aggressive on both ends of the floor. And when you put up 46 points in the first half, obviously you're running and gunning.
Yeah, they were good. They were aggressive, and they were powerful. You know, they attacked Missouri where you can attack them and really at the rim. And Egbunu set the tone right here, screen and roll, and just power. I mean, Missouri just got out of his way. Florida was aggressive defensively, active hands. They came up with 3 steals. This is an easy one by Allen. They shot the ball not extremely well from long range, although Finney-Smith hit a couple, 2 of 7 beyond the three-point line. And again, the athletic ability of Florida defensively. Casey Hill shoots the gap, easy finish, a terrific first half by this Florida Gator team.
Maybe the only knock on Florida, they fell in love with a three-point shot. 21 attempts from behind the arc. They knocked down 6 of those. But I think Michael White overall will have to be pretty happy with the way they just brought the energy. And I think that was a concern when they walked out of the building last night.
And Mike White's told us before earlier this season that we still have to shoot it. We may not make it.
Right.
But he said every guy on the floor knows we're going to shoot and we're going to attack the rebound. And Missouri comes out right away like a set play to say, let's pound it inside. Let's attack a little bit.
Per year, first basket, didn't take very long, 8 seconds.
And loves to turn back to that right shoulder, frees up his left hand. He's very good in the post. We mentioned the first half. He has had a solid freshman season. More so than they thought coming out of Blue Springs South High School, just down the road a bit, my hometown. He won a state championship on this court.
Hey, he's trying to be the first freshman to lead the team in scoring since a guy you know, Steve Stepanovic.
Stepanovic, one of probably the greatest player ever to play at Missouri. I'm a little biased. He was the same age we came in together.
Back in 1980.
Wow, nice stroke there.
There's 3. Another one, 7th of the game for the Gators. Finney-Smith gets the assist. Chiozza with the 3. Rosberg up and under. Rosberg has 6.
And not bothered again by the size or strength of Egbunu. He attacked him a little bit early in the first half, but they didn't go back to it.
By the way, Chiozza in the first half, 7 assists for the Gators. Loose ball foul against Egbunu, and that'll be his 2nd. Once again, last game of the year for Missouri. They will not be traveling to the SEC tournament.
You have to have a hunch that Kim Anderson told his guys at halftime. He'd leave it all out. This is it. This is it. Leave it all out there. And if you're not good, I'll put someone else in. And they've attacked. This is the 3rd straight possession. They have pounded inside. I think they're going to play to the rim.
Rosberg. Difficult shot, trying to go reverse layup on Egbunu. Didn't work. Chiozza back the other way.
Now, Chiozza missed Robinson. Had him one on a lob, maybe, but on a bounce pass if he'd stayed with it. can Missouri put enough pressure defensively, Dave, on this Florida team? You can't allow a guy to go coast to coast and lay it in. Once you've made a couple buckets, can you get enough energy defensively to get back in it? Shows a smart player, aggressive, quick, attacking.
I'll bring it up again. Missouri's last game down 22 at the half to LSU. Cut it to 3.
Cut it to 3. And again, they are pounding the ball inside, and if Florida doesn't pay attention, a home team that gets on a little bit of a run against a Florida team that can go cold shooting the ball.
Allen to Egbunu. Rosberg, the lone senior, defending him for Missouri. Now to Chiozza. He knocks home another 3.
And nonchalantly looks, like as though this is what I do.
Chiozza was a 29% three-point shooter coming into this game. Has 3 of those tonight.
And what is the scouting report and the coaching staff at Missouri going? Well, we're going to allow Chiozza to shoot the open jump shot, or Casey Hill. They've knocked in their 3s. You got to live with something.
In fact, the last 4 games, you want anybody but Robinson taking those 3-pointers for Florida. Here's Phillips back the other way.
A tough pass. A one-handed pass, not in control to your center who's running the court.
Last 4 games, Devin Robinson coming into tonight was 10 of 14 from behind the arc. Rest of the team, 19 of 78. That's a 24% clip from behind the arc.
And we have seen Missouri back off guys and allow them to shoot it, but Florida knocked them in tonight.
Voodoo fouled by Rosberg. That'll be the 3rd on Ryan.
Rosberg and Egbunu, both on their offensive end, are kind of going into each other to try to get the whistle. Rosberg just frustrated. He didn't do anything. He's almost, you want to tell the ref, I'm going to allow him to go over the top of me. He's not going through me. I'm just standing here. Solid numbers. 4 of 4 now. 5 of 5 from the foul line. From a 50% free throw. You said it earlier. Watched him today. Made a goal.
Same guy that went 3 of 11 in his last game at the line. Go figure.
Yep. That's what the coaching staff is saying, right?
Booty now 5 out of 6 at the line. He has 9 points, 6 rebounds.
The cuts and the screens are harder and sharper now for this Missouri team on the offensive end. They are attacking mode. Everything is when they're running a play, the screens are better and they're getting better shots. Tim Anderson not happy with that call.
Lucas Sale talking to C.J. Washington. It's going to stay Florida basketball. Not happy with the call, but nothing he can do about it now. Or ever, for that matter. Leon around the perimeter. Robinson. In the paint. Boy, that frame. He gets it going at 6'8". Lays it in. 20-point game. Largest lead of the night for Florida.
Another guy tough to stay in front of for this Missouri team. If Robinson's aggressive, now he's matched up on Phillips on the switch. Got to keep your hand up. Phillips capable of making the outside shot.
And Lear bounce pass inside. Tough shot, but it goes down for Russell Woods. Robinson, no good. Good box out underneath by Woods and Puryear. Here's Phillips. Well, those two have had a couple of nice open floor fast breaks.
Dave, I was impressed by the blackout on one end because they didn't do that in the first half. And then when they get the ball, they're pushing. This is a different team than the first half. Florida now a little bit on their heels. Got to have some answers on the offensive end, even though they still have a 16-point lead.
Robinson hangs in the air, fouled, and he'll head to the free throw line.
This Tiger team came out of the locker room, have become much more aggressive from one end to the other. Florida not back. Tigers trying to creep their way back into this game.
Here we go. 5 seconds left in regulation. 4-3 in the win. Got it! Long ball. Got it! They don't want to go home to win. He's never hit a bigger shot. For 3. He got it! Let the party begin.
Well, the SEC Men's Basketball Tournament presented by Cooper Tires is on the SEC ESPN Network, and we'll have every first round, second round, and quarterfinal game for you. Our coverage starts with the SEC now Wednesday at 7:30 Eastern with the first game at 8. And as always, games are streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. And of course, so much to play for a few teams in the Southeastern Conference. And it's more than just a tournament championship at stake. When you look at Joe Lunardi's bracketology, Alabama, his latest has the Tide on the first 4 out, and then the next 4 out, Florida, LSU. A lot of work to be done by the Gators, but you know, there's always that carrot out there, conference tournament champ.
Just win it. Just win. It's hard to disagree with Joe Lunardi because he's so accurate. I don't agree with that. I don't think where Florida is, I just don't agree. You can't convince me of that. But if you're Florida, just win. Just keep winning. Because most of the bubble teams, the reason you're on the bubble is you're inconsistent and there'll be a lot of teams lose. You don't want to lose that first night no matter what night you play in your conference tournament. You don't want to lose that. That seems to always be the killer for any of the bubble teams.
So the Gators against Kentucky in their last game shoot at the free throw line. 16 of 37. They come here to Missouri and they are 14 of 17 at the free throw line.
So which of the assistant coaches on Mike White's staff will take credit for a lot of the free throw guys at Columbia?
Well, the Gators are swarming to the basketball today. Casey Hill spins underneath. And a tie-up. We're going to say foul or a tie-up? Jim Gaddis going to call a foul, and I think a technical for Phillips. The foul will go against Russell Woods. Technical foul against Terrence Phillips.
Good pass inside, and when you're a big guy and you wrap up like that, you assume a jump ball, right? Russell Woods is thinking there's going to be contact. Phillips, who has become really, even though he's a freshman, the leader of this team on the floor. Did not agree with the official. Probably didn't say a lot, but official doesn't really want to hear anything from the player. A couple of ways, the 2 ways to get a crowd involved is A, either your team playing well, or B, the crowd doesn't agree with officials, and then there becomes energy in a building. That group's not too upset. And Florida now stretches to 20.
So Phillips, after the technical, will pick up his 3rd. Woods also picked up his 3rd. Rosberg has 3. Now Hayes will step to the line after Robinson knocks home both those free throws. Jimmy Barton, redshirt sophomore guard out of St. Louis, checks in.
Jimmy Barton, a walk-on who gets time with the dismissal of Wes Clark a few weeks ago. Wes Clark averaged nearly 10 points a game.
Also no D'Angelo Allen, who decided to leave the team and transfer. Sophomore, so a couple of players down for Missouri here in the last few weeks of the season. Gantz, he is fouled. Robinson will pick up the personal, and for Robinson, that'll be his third.
Good ball fake by Gant. Both the defenders from Florida jumped for it. Went down the lane. That's the kind now in his sophomore season you'd like him probably to dunk it, attack the rim. He's got one of those frames you keep kind of waiting for to emerge, and maybe it might be next season to be a little more productive for Kim Anderson and his team.
Dan, former Mr. Basketball in the state of Georgia.
And Dave, you really never know when a guy emerges, you know? I mean, think of what Obasahan has done this year at Alabama. We didn't think that was going to happen.
He's something else.
Yeah. An all-league player, I think. Matchup zone again.
How about Chioza's night? 13.7 assists for the Gators. There he is with the basketball.
And even though he has made shots, he's not searching for more shots because he's a point guard, lead guard.
Got the shot away off the front of the iron. Hill just missed at the buzzer. Crowd getting a little restless, and that one's poked out of bounds. It'll belong to Missouri. Egbunu will check back in. Hayes to the bench for Florida. Here's the walk-on. Barton dumps it inside to Rosberg.
Good play by Chioza. He just stayed on Rosberg as Barton cut. Rosberg had nowhere to go. Smart play, Chioza. I think did it on his own.
Finney Smith bumped by Barton. That will be the 5th team foul against Missouri this half. Chioza reverse layup. Nice inbounds play. Somebody lost a man.
And I believe Casey Hill took that ball and made the pass from underneath. Again, the point guard, when he takes the ball out, he sees the floor better than anybody else. And watch Hill observe, and he sees it early, and he's just kind of waiting for Chioza to keep coming. Good eye contact between two teammates that have been together now a couple of years.
Rosberg, strong move, blocked by Egbunu. Here's Walker back the other way. Chioza, 3 on the way. Flanks off the side of the room. Finney Smith keeps it alive. Egbunu. And he travels.
You know, Rosberg got Egbunu off the block. Moves him 3 or 4 feet outside, and Egbunu probably should have pass it back out and reestablish yourself. Get back into the comfort zone where you should be.
Phillips, he's fouled on the way to the basket. That'll get us to our under 12 media timeout. The Gators in control. Back in a moment. Hey, tonight at 9:30 on the SEC ESPN Network, join our network analysts as they discuss all the SEC news of the day on SEC Now, streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. Mizzou Arena, Dave Neal alongside John Sunvold, and if the SEC tournament started right this second, okay, not in 11 minutes and 59 seconds off this game clock, but right now, the Gators would be a 10 seed.
Right.
If the Gators hold on to win this game, they would move and be an 8 seed. But right now, this is how the tournament would look. Tennessee and Auburn, of course, would start the affair. So we're just trying to really figure out, will Florida be an 8 seed or will they be a 10 seed? That's what we're trying to figure out. But there's what the quarterfinals would look like on Friday night. Those 4 teams will have the old double bye. Kentucky would play on that Friday night.
Friday night.
A&M would be the #1 seed, co-champs, but by virtue of their regular season victory, which was a thrilling game in College Station against the Cats. They are your #1 seed.
South Carolina will be the other one on the Friday night. An impressive win by South Carolina today on the road at Arkansas.
Yeah, they
not
look
an
good.
easy place, and the Razorbacks have been playing terrifically.
I thought that was an impressive win, kind of a like, here we are, we're ready to go postseason type win for South Carolina.
And maybe a little statement that they had to make.
Yeah, I think
because
so.
they have wavered a little bit down the stretch
No
the last
doubt.
couple weeks.
They had kind of an up and down finish.
And I thought most probably thought Arkansas would win that game when you see that the way both teams have been playing.
Yeah. Joe Phillips makes it a 20-point game.
Florida normally a very difficult team to press because of the ball handlers they have, the way they move the basketball quick off the dribble. Did not make many mistakes. Chiozza handled it easily with Hill on the floor with him.
Hayes can't handle it. Knocked out of bounds. It'll be Missouri basketball.
Good reaction by Chiozza because Hayes looked at him, knew he should have caught it. Chiozza just nodded his head. I'll come back. I'll be back at you, and I expect you to catch it. The next one, he may not react so well when your big guy drops it. He's at a point guard center with a ball fake.
Rosberg. Got 11 minutes and 15 seconds left on his Missouri basketball career. Phillips trying to feed the big fellow. Pick and roll game. Phillips out to Walton for 3. Got it right at the buzzer.
Good find by Phillips. You know where teammates are going to be, but you still got to find them and still get that ball all the way across baseline.
Walton's second 3 of the night. Casey Hill fouled by Walton.
Watch when Phillips drives. He knows where his guys are located, but you still got to stretch. Get it to Walton. He's set in the corner. He had 3 threes in the loss on Tuesday night at LSU. A couple tonight.
Hey, he had 6 3-pointers all year. He now has 5 3-pointers in the last 2 games.
And he's up that percentage all the way over 35% shooting threes.
Walker travels with the basketball. Timeout taken by Florida. It's been a tough year for Walker. Gators still out in front, 64-47, 10:28 to play here in Columbia, Missouri. Mike White trying to draw it up, close this one out, 10:28. This club leads 64-47 here in the second half. Time for us to take a look at our Good Hands play, brought to you by Allstate. We'll take a little liberty and maybe call it good teeth, good paws.
It was a great halftime.
It was. These dogs are phenomenal.
And for those at home, you get to at least see a little highlight of what we got to watch.
It was entertaining. I do know this, though. That would be a lot of work for me in my house if I had one of those dogs. Seriously.
They demand a little bit of attention
Right.
the minute you wake up in the morning.
Gators have had a nice offensive performance tonight, shooting right around 45%, 50% here in the second half. They have attempted 43 shots. 26 of them have been behind the arc, and you see what the Gators are trying to play for tonight as far as the SEC tournament is concerned. They would face Arkansas in the second round with a win. A loss, they'll take on Ole Miss. So far tonight, Chiozza with 15 points leads the Gators. He also has 7 assists and 4 rebounds. Finney Smith with 14 points, 4 rebounds. On the other side, Naaman Wright leads the Tigers with 14 points. Phillips, 3 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists for the Tigers. Gant hangs in the air, nice. Tough shot in traffic.
Again, solid move by Gant. Kenny Anderson would like to see more of that from him. Work on his game over the summer, next season as he comes back to Mizzou.
And a block foul underneath against Missouri.
Gant's one of those long, thin kind of guys, wiry athlete that you expect to make a lot of these plays. Solid outside shooter. Didn't quite get there in time defensively.
Leon in the game for the Gators. That one spits out for Egbunu.
Who has now missed his last 3 free throws. So you kind of know where his confidence is going and where it is.
Phillips frustrated and couldn't get that to go down. Allen. Phillips another rebound. I tell you what, I like Phillips. I like his energy. I like his demeanor on the court. He's a hard-nosed player, very competitive.
Yeah, tough, fiery. He's got true leadership skills, which are very hard to teach, right? I mean, he's the kind of guy that commands attention when he's out there, and his teammates kind of give it to him.
It's an 8-0 run by Missouri.
And this game, if Florida's not careful, you hate it to get to 10 or under 10 when you're on the road. Let's see if they can have an answer.
Rosberg had it, lost it, and right into the hands of Walton. They'll give it to Phillips. He's busted out some new neon green shoes. He's got the Chris Pauls working.
They got a lot of color to it.
Said he wanted to bring him out. He's been working on him. He's been working him out in practice, but tonight's the first night he's brought him out for game.
I'm not necessarily saying that's part of the black and gold coloring,
right?
But
there is a little flavor in there.
Yeah, it's got a lot of flavor. A lot of flavor.
He was excited about it. I talked to him for the
and
game
when
today.
you have that flavor, your game needs to go up a little bit.
He's going to be a key part of this program as they
really
move forward. No doubt about it.
And the guy coming in, Kevin Purdy, the second piece. And these two freshmen have logged a lot of minutes and had a lot put on their shoulders when you come into conference play like an SEC.
Barton having trouble getting the ball in bounds, gives it right back to Florida. Well, that's a tough turnover. You're underneath your own basket, down 13. You give it back to the Gators with 8:50 to go. Bad pass by Chiozza. Michael White just puts his head in his hands. Can't believe that pass. And Missouri tried to make the Gators pay on the other end, and Michael White just cannot believe that turnover. That look pretty much says it all.
Yeah, there's a response of a coach that trying to get the best out of his team, and
even I'm saying, what was that?
You're trying to find which guy he was going to. I mean, I don't know.
Like he was going to Rosberg. Rosberg was wide open.
Yeah.
Wrong guy, though.
The coaching profession.
Oof.
And he's going to ask Chris, who are you throwing it to? And normally the answer any player would give is, well, I thought so-and-so was cutting. When you have a lead, you got to be more sure of things. Rosberg finishes around the rim again. We've got a ball game.
Rosberg.
This has changed in a hurry.
An 11-point game. It's a 10-0 run by Missouri, and Rosberg has 8.
And Mizzou will stay in this 2-3 matchup zone. They'll get to a couple shooters. They want Florida to make jump shots.
Finney Smith.
A smart move by the senior. Go inside, use your athletic ability, go over the top of the shorter Missouri squad.
Over the back foul on Egbunu. Rosberg's last game, tried to make the most of it.
You know what? He's not finished. He's been solid for the last 2 weeks, scoring, playing, being aggressive. And in his last game in Mizzou Arena, He's attacking, finishing. Tigers trying to claw their way back.
Florida's led by as many as 21. Missouri just cut it to 11 a moment ago, but the lead is 13. And for the Gators, well, they have, according to Joe Lunardi, who has just updated his bracketology, he has put the Gators in his next 4 outs. His first 4 out. He has just updated his list. The Gators are in his first 4 out now. So the Gators are inching closer and closer to the field of 68 after all the action today. You see the Gators right there. Tulsa, coached by former Missouri Tiger head coach Frank Haith. Michigan, Gonzaga, then there's Florida. And how about the Bulldogs have crept up into the conversation right now with
Playing well.
With a win today. They have knocked Alabama out of the discussion.
You know, I have a way to solve this, Dave.
And I'd like to hear this.
So let's get rid of the RPI stuff for conferences. So let's take the 6 main conferences that right now would have, I think, about 37 or 38 teams in, right? The 6 big conferences, SEC being one of them, ranked 6th in the RPI conference. Those 6 teams should get their top 6 teams in, those 6 leagues. So that as a coach, you have your team, November, December, you figure out how you want to schedule. You've got a veteran team, you play as hard as you want. But what your goal is to get in the league and finish in the top 6, and then you're automatically in. And someone can't tell me that the 7th best team in the Big 12 is better than the 5th best team in the SEC. So that would settle a lot of the stuff.
So we do tiebreakers.
So basically, your league's got to send 6 now. You could have 7 because your champ's got to go at the conference tournament. And you could have the formula of some league is better, whatever computer thinks, and they may get a 7th team. You may have a, but if you're not in your top 6,
so basically you're saying take your top 6 seeds at your conference tournament.
You take your
that
top 6
seeds.
Yes, of those 6 leagues,
right?
SEC, Big East, Big 12, Big 10. And so then what you're doing, the conference becomes more important than some computer deciding which league is better than another because they don't play enough time.
Okay.
So that settles things. And the 4 out, 4 in, you're still going to have different picks down the road. I mean, you got conference champs, you got other things.
I'm going to digest that a little bit, chew on that.
No,
right?
Go ahead. Yeah.
And
I mean, you know,
I'll get right. I'm going to get back
I've
to
thought
you.
a lot about it.
I know.
And I kind of know some of the 7th teams that are in from different leagues that aren't in from this league, and I kind of question.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so
we're not going to bury those teams here.
No.
But I know exactly who you're talking about. At least a couple of them.
Let's see if Missouri can have now answers. They got to 11, now back to 14, and they've had 2 straight turnovers. It's hard to climb the mountain and get over the top and get all the way.
Three freshmen, a sophomore, and a senior on the floor right now for Missouri. Chioza, 17 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. Gets it to Finney Smith on the way, no good. Rebound to Naaman Wright.
You know, solid play, good pass. It's the shot they want. They have 2 options. Chioza, when he drives, you had Finney Smith behind him. He had Kayvon Allen out the left side. Allen, a good outside shooter also.
Long 3 by Phillips. Buries it.
Has the ability to stretch a defense. Really plays like a true point guard, though. He runs the show. The answer for Florida will probably come either Finney Smith in the middle of that zone, McMooney low, or Robinson outside.
Traveling violation against Egbunu. Long 3 by Phillips a moment ago.
He has range, 32% beyond the three-point arc. Doesn't look to shoot a lot of them. But again, Missouri, this is their last 6 minutes and 21 seconds of the year. I would expect an all-out effort, attacking mode.
Got to be the shoes,
Got to
right?
be the shoes.
That's the Chris Paul model, by the way. If you were going to go out and get you some.
You got a pair of those for your church league?
Maybe I need them, though. Oh, the turnover. Wright throws it right to Chiozza.
Nice.
Back to Robinson. And it looks like Chiozza may have just pulled a hamstring.
Yeah. Grabbed it right away. He looked one way, gave the pass to Robinson for the easy flush, but he did pull a hamstring. Phillips will attack. Smart play by Terrence Phillips. Comes out. I was surprised Phillips didn't foul him around the half-court line, because at 3-on-2, I thought he might foul him there. Boy, pulls up and right away. Now let's hope he's okay. Get to him in a hurry on that sideline.
Let's hope maybe a cramp as opposed to a pulled hamstring. Oh, a nice rebound by Allen.
Oh my, 1 on
3 and 4. That's going to be Missouri basketball. Michael White thought that.
You know, as a coach, you fight for the call, but you're also in the lead. You got to go, hey, we have a lead, you're 1 on 3. Sometimes you just don't have to do that. The other party might be questioning it got blocked.
Phillips, Van Leer. Puryear. It's been kind of quiet. 7 points. Make it 9.
The ability to stretch a defense because he can shoot threes. Pretty good off the dribble. Strong with that left hand and his finish. Can Missouri get a stop and get it under the 10-point mark?
Hill. Robinson for 3. No good. The foul by Ekbunu.
Or is that Finney Smith?
Finney Smith got the foul.
He seems to have an answer.
Boy, this Gator team, every time Missouri tries to get this to single digits, the Gators have an answer.
Oh, look at Phillips fight.
Watch Finney Smith work his way toward the rim on the follow.
And no body to block him out. Nobody touches him. And we know Finney Smith is active, aggressive, no block out. What a play. And a play Florida needed.
Still just a 13-point game. Gators led by 21 at the 14-minute mark here in the second half. Hill. That's a good 3. That'll be his 2nd of the game.
And good ball movement. You probably wouldn't have minded Allen taking the shot, but he made a dribble past it. Casey Hill knocks in another 3.
31 3-point field goal attempts by Florida tonight. They have knocked home 9 of those. Just 29% from behind the arc.
Well, you really take what a defense is going to give you. And Missouri is packed it inside, and if the ball enters inside, they double and triple team Ekbunu or Finney Smith. And so Mike White has always said, we've got to take the shots. We're going to have to be aggressive on the offensive glass. But his guys have continued to shoot him, 9 for 31.
Well, tonight at 9:30 on the SEC ESPN Network, join our network analysts as they discuss all the SEC news of the day on SEC Now. Streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. Guys, get you set for the SEC men's tournament next week beginning in Nashville, and also get you caught up on all the action that's been going on at the SEC women's tournament down in Jacksonville, Florida, and everything else happening around the Southeastern Conference. But here, as we close out the SEC regular season, it has been a interesting season to say the least. I mean, obviously, when middle of the week, we had an opportunity. If things had played out, we could have had a 5-way tie for first place in the league this year.
Yeah, the teams that maybe didn't end as well, but like in Alabama making a run early a couple weeks ago, doing what they did. The teams on the bottom, even though they don't end up with a good record, But what this league has done is these teams, Missouri beating a South Carolina here, or anybody trying to beat a Mississippi State team that's tough, or Auburn knocking off a Kentucky. I mean, things that have happened this season that there have not been easy games when a coach walks into a building.
This Gator team was rolling along, but they have lost 4 in a row, trying to snap the streak here. Missouri's also lost 4 in a row. Gators lead at 75-59. By the way, the Gators season high for 3-pointers. They attempted 32 against South Carolina. They went 9 for 32 in that overtime loss to the Gamecocks. They're at 31 right now.
Dave, Missouri's shooting 63% from the field in the second half, but have 7 turnovers. They only had 5 turnovers the first half. They have 7 turnovers. Some of them have been huge possessions when they've cut this lead down to 11 or 12 and need a good possession.
So Puryear will step to the free throw line. Been there just once tonight. And knocked that one home. What do you think Puryear's position is, his best position would be down the road?
That's a tough one. You know, he's between in the I mean, he's a 3-4 guy.
Yeah.
Right. He's strong enough to play inside. He can defend the 3 spot. I mean, that's by size. You know, at 6'7", he's really a 3 guy. He's a good pick and pop guy. He's got a wide variety on the offensive end. Got to get a little better with his footwork, a little quicker. But how valuable are minutes when you're a freshman? Oh, another odd pass from Hill. It's kind of there, but kind of not there. It's a 50-50. You don't need to have trouble.
I think Mike White's had about enough of that pass. He's about to talk to Casey Hill.
Can you tell? I was like, can you tell me what you saw there? Well, I thought.
Here's Phillips. 9 rebounds, 7 assists. But Phillips playing with 4 fouls right now. Does have a technical earlier here in the second half. Up and under move by Wright. Didn't get it to go the first time. Got that one on the tap in. 12-point game. 3:24 to go. Finney Smith. Oh, elbow.
Yeah, elbow. Not intentional, but they'll take a look at this. And tough to get way in front of that.
Phillips played his basketball at Oak Hill Academy. Grew up in Orange County, California. Cassell, our referee, going to take a look to see if that elbow was enough to warrant a flagrant 1 against Finney Smith. I'll tell you what, that looks like that might be enough of a shot.
Yeah.
Excessive contact above the shoulders with an elbow.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's how you. It's how the rule. What the rule says. And why the rule was put in place.
Was it a basketball move? I think the swinging of the elbow may be enough to warrant. Yeah, I think that's going to be the call.
And no argument from Mike White or Dorian Finney-Smith.
And so Phillips will head to the free throw line. 74% foul shooter. The clock stops. Chance for Mizzou to get this to a 10-point game. Can't do it, but they will get the basketball.
And if you're Florida, you got to be solid defensively. I would still push and attack if you can. Try to get a couple easy baskets. You don't have to, but you can. Easiest way to try to score. You don't want to foul away from the basketball.
And that's exactly what just happened. Casey Hill picks up his third, excuse me, on Hill.
David Wright goes to free throw line, 78% free throw shooter. Chance to cut it to 10 or less. Let's see if Kim Anderson, if they can put pressure on. Again, a team that handles the ball well. Chiozza back in the lineup. We'll see how his hamstring is. Florida with only 7 turnovers. That's 2 missed free throws on the last 3 attempts by this Missouri team.
This is as close as Missouri has been since back in the first half, the 13-minute mark. 2:42 to go. Finney Smith at the free throw line. Goes with the left hand with an exclamation point.
Can you say all SEC? That's why they stamp it across his chest.
Finney Smith with 20 points. Van Leer won't go. And guess who grabs the rebound? Finney Smith.
I love what shows. I like the push. Don't have to take the shot. Now you bring it back out. You never know what you get. You didn't need a deep corner shot. You might get a bucket, might get a layup. Now it's man-to-man defensively. If you're Florida, you can run whatever you want to run. Handle the basketball, make hard cuts. Missouri will be chasing and going for steals.
10th rebound of the night for Phillips. Van Leer. Phillips elevates for 3. He now has 10 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists. Seconds to play. Finney Smith.
And the pace has to be pushed by this Missouri team. You got 9 points, minute 20.
Rosberg, Puryear, Phillips, deep 3, won't go. Puryear, rebound, put back, won't go. Tap with Rosberg. He's in double figures. It's an 11-2 run and a 7-point game. The senior in his final game, making it close. Missouri down as much as 21 here in the second half. Boy, this is similar to what you saw in the midweek against LSU.
Yeah, down at LSU, they got back to 3 points in that one, and then LSU hit 3 3-pointers in a row. This time, Florida now has to take care of the basketball. Missouri didn't foul last time. They just played solid defense. Missed shot by Mike White's squad.
Smith will inbound it. Just over a minute to go. Here's Allen. Back to Finney Smith. Reach-in foul by Van Leer. That'll be his first. Casey Hill to the line, and Casey Hill just a 54% foul shooter. Yeah. Gators have been okay tonight, 20 of 27.
And a good foul because they waited till Hill caught the ball, 54%. Fouled him. First free throw attempts of the night. Good stroke.
Miss or make, it'll be a 3-possession game. And it spins out. Here's Phillips.
Good solid defense.
Rosberg spins on Egbunu. Blocked. Chioza back the other way. Allen. He's fouled by Van Leer. That may have just done it.
And Dave, what happens defensively, if you stop the initial pick and roll so that time goes off the clock, then it goes back inside to Rosberg, and it's solid by Egbunu, and then Chioza picks it up. And again, the push, you're clearing yourself away from any double team, and you attack on the other end. Smart play, great defensive stand by the Gators.
We have an 82% foul shooter at the free throw line.
Mike White would love for Allen's game. Came on Allen to get going again, back to what he's been doing offensively all season.
Allen, the 4th Gator in double figures with 11. Phillips pull up 3 off the mark. Rebound to Finney-Smith. Off to Allen. Chased down by Phillips, who has 4 fouls. And Phillips thought he had the steal, but that'll do it for the freshman, who is frustrated that his night is over. Better nights to come. Actually, a good night tonight for the youngster. 10 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists.
A solid freshman season. He won't be happy tonight. No competitor likes losing. And this is their last ball game. But again, Frank Martin just had unbelievable words for Terrence Phillips after they came in and lost to this Missouri team about his leadership and what he can and what he means to this Missouri team going forward. And what this kid has learned as just a freshman of running the show for a team. And this Florida team, we know that they needed this win badly.
Listen to the ovation for Ryan Rosberg, the lone senior on this team. Proud mama.
Yep.
Damon Wright for 22 seconds.
Well, the SEC regular season wraps up.
This is it.
Good season.
Another one in the books. And with this win, the Gators will be the number 8 seed and will face Arkansas in the second round.
The afternoon session. They know they still have some work to do, maybe, to make the NCAA. I would hope not. I think they're an NCAA team.
4 Gators in double figures, led by Finney-Smith with 20. Florida shoots 25 of 33 at the line. Good news for Coach Mike White, as the Gators put up 82 on the board. 82-72, the final score. Ryan Rosberg's career is over for Missouri. Gators wrap up the regular season 18-13. Coming up, we'll send you over to SEC Now. So for John Sunvold, Dave Neal, so long from Missouri.
All right, welcome in. We're going to keep you company for the next 30 minutes, leading you up to a full 60-minute SEC Now. That's Damian Fishback, Tony Delk, Dari Nowkhah here. Florida had to take care of business, dominating first half. Second half, Missouri made a little run. Good to see, right, in their last game of the season. But Florida had to win, and Florida won. What did you see from them?
Chris Chioza's solid guard play by him, 17 points, 8 assists, and getting everyone involved, also 7 rebounds. When they get good guard play, that is Florida, they're a tough team to handle because they distribute the ball, play amongst one another, but also unselfish basketball by Florida.
I think we got to give a lot of credit to Missouri. First of all, they came out, displayed a lot of fight, not only today, but this entire year. It's a challenge to a team that doesn't have the opportunity to play in the postseason. I think you have to give Coach Kim Anderson a lot of credit for keeping his team together both on and off the floor. With that being said, though, give credit to Florida. They did take care of business, Dorian Finney-Smith being the leader that we expected him to be. The one chink in the armor, though, that I continue to see with this Gator team, over half of their shots coming from the three-point line. John Egbunu with only 3 or 4 attempts. I think they have to make a more conservative effort to try to get the basketball inside as they play better competition in the SEC tournament.
You can start to look and see how this is going to shake out if Florida's going to make a run to the NCAA tournament. They're the 8. They will open on Thursday with Arkansas. All right. They will then, if they win, face Texas A&M.
Oof.
So with that opposition for Florida, how far do you think they can go?
A team that's very capable because they have Dorian Finney-Smith, a playmaker, who can guard multiple players, but they have to play through their big, as Fishback said over here, going through Egbunu, playing through the big man, giving him a chance to touch the ball. 3 field goal attempts for a player that can dominate a game. You got to make sure he touches the ball, and also, you know, not living at the three-point line. The guard play was better. I like the way Chiozza handled the ball, distributed amongst his teammates, and if that team can defend on the outside, and when they play against Arkansas, they have to play above the three-point line and chase them off the three-point line, forcing them to take mid-range shots.
Right, and we're not saying that Florida can't shoot the three-pointer. They can. They just can be more efficient when they go inside. Arkansas, though, is actually a pretty good matchup, and not because they had a challenging time against South Carolina today at home. And Mike Anderson will have the Razorbacks ready. They're dangerous in the tournament because of the way they get up and down and shoot the three. But I think it's a game to where they don't have a dominant front line. You've got Moses Kingley that's playing well, but I think Egbunu matches up with him. Dorian Finney-Smith will be a challenging matchup as well. And then Texas A&M behind them, Dari.
Yep.
I think that's outstanding. You mentioned it earlier. Opportunities will be challenging, but if you want to win that can get you into the NCAA tournament, you have Arkansas, and then if you could perhaps knock off the Aggies, then I think Florida Gators would be in.
Arkansas and Florida, that's what you think that needs to happen. Joe Lunardi, as he always does, continues to update bracketology. We get the emails, and then we share the information with you. Right now, where he has Florida is in the first 4 out, and I want to confirm that real quick because that was the last thing that came out, I believe. Florida is, they're the 4th team out of the field right now behind Tulsa, Michigan, and Gonzaga. So that's where Florida sits. You think win those 2 and they're good? They should be good?
Well, listen, they may not even have to win both of those games, but I'm the type of person that, you know, I want to try to erase all doubt if I'm the Florida Gators. You knocked off West Virginia, St. Joseph, 2 quality wins. You beat Arkansas, and then if you beat Texas A&M, I think you're definitely happy on Selection Sunday.
I think they have to win. They have to go through Arkansas. You have to get to Texas A&M, and you have to reach that championship game. So what I'm telling Florida is you have to play, you have to win. Don't worry about the committee and wait on the committee to decide your fate. Decide your own fate by winning basketball, defending, also getting the ball inside, and like I said, shoot threes when they're available. Don't take challenge shots, which that has been a problem for them somewhat throughout the season.
And we'll continue to get you set over the